Hey, this is JC here at JC's Comics and More, your pop culture superstore, 6725 West Central Avenue. That is Toledo, Ohio, 43617 419 5316097. JC's Comics and More at hotmail.com. And then you can find the Facebook link in the description below. This is July 1st. It's been not quite 2 months since we lost the great George Perez. That was a piece that when he was in my shop way back in the day, and that's what he had done for me. I asked him if he could do a Wonder Woman and a Troya. This was the first time he drew a fan sketch for Troya. I was absolutely thrilled. But I've got a special guest here myself, a good friend, that we talked about doing something on George. A tribute video on George, and he brought in some of his stuff, and we're going to go talk to him now. And also let you guys know I am still working on the big 12 box collection. Still trying to get that, so because that's a lot of work to get processed. And also I want to just give a big shout out, props to Jeff from Wisconsin yesterday. Come down. He relieved the store of the Amazing Spider-Man 194 and X-Men 133, amongst many, many other things. And he was telling me about when he was a kid back in '65 in Rockford, Illinois, going to a comic shop, saying that was the first comic shop in the country, not, as the internet will tell you, a place out in California in '68. But that's neither here nor there right now. But here we have Mr. Pope. Greetings there, sir.
How's it going?
It's going well. I am very, very happy that we're going to do this, and you tell me some of your stories about the great man himself.
Yeah.
Where do you wish to start?
Well, I'm going to keep it short and sweet.
Because you're going to cry?
I might.
Well, don't worry. We all might cry.
This is my piece from George. I had a chance to meet George in '99 at Novi, and it was a very sobering experience. Very sobering experience. I got my first taste of George Perez when I was in high school. We had just, well, actually, no, it was grade school, I believe it was.
Grade school, wow.
Yeah, I know. It was like the 7th, 8th grade, somewhere in there.
I was in high school when I first saw Avengers 141, his first published, his first Avengers work for Marvel, and in a study hall class. And I was like, even at that point, even though I had bad Vinnie Coletta inks, I knew that, man, this guy's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Man, this guy's pretty special here. He's on to something.
Yeah, I was out for summer break. Yeah, school was done. I was out for summer break, and I had a week or two just chilling at the time. My parents, they were like, "Hey, you're not gonna sit around this house all summer long and do nothing." Like, whatever, man.
What?
So
you weren't on the internet back then?
No, we didn't even know what that was. Had no clue.
Watching your Netflix?
Oh my God.
Your Hulu's TV?
Yeah, the struggle was real. They have no idea.
Put on your PlayStation?
My parents were big into book reports at the time. So
okay.
They told me, hey, you need to go down to the store and get yourself a book for the summer, read that book, and do a book report on it. And me being smart ass that I was,
no,
I went down to the store, and I'm going to tell my age. It was called Lane's at the time. Some of you may know it, some of you may not. I
remember Lane's.
A rack of, it must have been about 15, 20 feet long at the time. They had everything published on there. Red Book, Cosmo. Anything you wanted was on that rack. They had hard covers, soft covers, and then at the very bottom, they would have comics.
Yep.
And so I went in there, and the first book I saw was this. It was the first book I saw.
What a book that was.
And this, for some odd reason, captured my eye. And as I moved up, I was like, I know this guy. Don't know this guy. But it looks like Cyclops is about to get his ass handed to him. And I said, well, you know what? I said, let me pick this up. They said get a book. They didn't say...
They didn't specify.
They didn't specify what type of book. A comic book is a book.
And the thing about that's not even the George cover. That's Frank Miller.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean... So, I threw the fish hook into the water. And I'm looking. I'm just, trolling along. I open this up. I'm like, okay. All right. I'm interested.
Now, were you there by yourself? Or did
Yeah.
You,
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you had some buddies with you.
No.
That your buddies, you showed up to later.
No. I mean, this writer was Chris Claremont, George Perez, Terry Austin. So it was an awesome book. It was the first one I ever picked up. And I'm looking at this, and I'm like, okay, that looks pretty good. I said, I could be interested in that. So then I turn it to the next page, and I'm like, okay, I'm really interested. This is a powerful piece. I'm like, all right, so, and I'm thinking, whatever. And so I'm looking at the bait on the hook, and I'm thinking, I can get behind this. And I'm looking, I'm like, yeah, I'm really interested. I might have to take a bite into that hook. And here, I was hooked. You can pull me in, or you can reel me in. Yep.
We've got a live one. Reel him in.
Got a live one. When I saw this, it was a done deal. I said, this guy, I don't know who he is, but I said, this artwork is off of the chain. I said, I gotta have it. So, when I met George in '99, when I met him, I handed him this book. And he looked at it. I'll never forget it. There's some things you just never forget.
Now, is that your copy? Is that your original copy?
This is my original copy.
That's your original.
I had to buy another one.
Okay.
I had to buy another one just to make sure.
Because you read the other one to death so much?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, but that's a good sign.
Yeah. When I pulled this and gave it to him to sign, he said, oh my God. He said, that is the first and only X-Men book I ever did. And I was like, are you kidding me? He says, no. He signed it for me. And we talked for a minute. And then I said, George, can I get a sketch? And he says, yeah. And I don't have to tell everybody, but my man JC knows I'm big into my African American superheroes. And I said, I want a cyborg. And he was like, okay. I said, can I get a full cyborg? Because he asked me, do you want a head, 3/4? I said, no, I want the whole thing. And he says, okay. I said, can I get him in some type of power move? And he said, sure. He said, will you be back tomorrow? I said, yes, I'll be back tomorrow. He said, yeah, I'll have it for you tomorrow. And I asked him, well, how much is it going to cost me? He said, I think this was $100 at the time.
Okay, yeah, that'd be about right.
I think it's $100.
Yeah, when he was at my shop, he was charged $100 for full pieces.
Yeah.
Can we pause quickly? Sure. Okay. So. Well, let's look a little bit more at that X-Men annual, because what other pages? I mean, there had to be other stuff that you couldn't have just that one page been like, oh, this is great. There had to be other stuff that you were just like, holy crap! I mean, just his artwork, the detail. Look at that.
That's unbelievable. I mean, I remember him in an interview once when they asked him, "Do you want to do the Avengers?" When they brought out the Avengers. Look at this. And I just was listening to it, and he was like, yeah, I'm into it. He's, how many can I use? And they said, well, you can use whatever. He said, can I use all of them? And he's like, yeah. So the more, it just seems like the more that he could put on a page, the happier he was.
Right.
And I was just like, I know some people that would just not want to even deal with that.
Right.
But as a, adolescent individual, yeah, of course, that was
Storm.
That was a little risque for me in a comic book. I've never seen anything like that in a comic book before. So, and also I didn't even know there is another section here. I wasn't sure about Cyclops' powers. Here, where he tells that he's finished with his optic blast. I didn't know he could run out.
Okay.
Yeah, so it says it's completely drained. Then he gives the explanation, there's no sun. So I was like, okay. So that kind of explains a lot of little things, you know. I mean, just even the ricochet off of his, I mean, it's just the little things that, you know, even the torn uniform.
Right.
You know, it's just nobody else is tore up like that. So obviously he's putting all the work in. Go figure, you know. And just, I mean, it was a
You've got
this is from
throw a little bit of Avengers in there.
Yep. Which is just, you know, awesome. And then just this here. You know, I mean, just the little details. Where's that small detail at that I thought was just nuts? Where is it? I don't see it. It was here, right here, where his feet are actually melting into the ground. And I'm like, you know, that's just great stuff, man. I'm sorry. It's just great stuff. And I'm really sad that, you know, that he's out of here, but I've got pieces of history with me that, you know, that they can never take away.
Right.
Never take away. Never. But when I got this from him, when I came back the next day and I got this from him, I just could not believe that I actually had gotten a piece from one of my best artists that got me into this collecting. And when I was also there, I also got the Raven signed by him.
Again, just, you know, just detail on the cover.
I mean, look at this.
You know, like with the cyborg. I mean, just,
you know, like, look at this. I mean, look at that. It's just the opening page.
yeah.
I mean, that's just, he was a masterpiece when it came to that. And I know I'm going to ruffle some feathers when I say this.
George never gave less than 150%.
His worst day.
His worst day is better than
any
better than any current DC and probably Marvel artist these days.
Exactly. And this is where I'm gonna probably make some enemies. This is the Changeling. This is Changeling, not Beast Boy.
That's
I'm
right.
sorry.
It is Changeling.
And look at this. Just, I mean, again, just unbelievable stuff. But you could tell George loved his women. He did.
Yes, he did.
He loved his women. I'm sorry. It's all in his artwork. And you can do what you want. Unbelievable. Look at that. But him and Marv Wolfman, as far as I'm concerned, they got lightning in a bottle with this Teen Titans stuff. They really, 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 really honestly, as far as I'm concerned, that was the best. Just the story. The story in this was so powerful. And it just, I could relate to some of the things that were going on within this character's life. You know, and it hit home.
Which is powerful because, you know, that you know, you being a black man reading this, it's a black character, but written by a white man and drawn by a Puerto Rican man. You know,
Go figure.
Well, I mean, it's up to where, you know, these days they figure so many comics. Well, no, you need to have it written by or drawn by the person who is the same as the person inside. Like, it can't be, you know, that we all have stuff that we can identify with each other, and
right.
and whether it's, you know, a white or a man writing a woman's book, or, you know, it doesn't have to be a woman writing that they can certainly do that as well.
I mean, and not taking anything away from Christopher Priest or McDuffie or any of those guys. All those guys are awesome.
And they wrote great stories with white characters too.
I was just about to get to that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it goes across all genres, if you ask me. And again, before I even started collecting this, friends of mine were telling me about the Teen Titans. And he was so excited about, you know, these Teen Titans that I was like, okay, I'm game. You know, what is it called? As far as where should I pick it up? He was like, you should pick up, you know, as soon as you can.
So you were unaware of George
Yes.
moving to DC and doing New Teen
Yes.
Titans with Marv.
Yes, I was unaware of that. He had even. This is the only book I ever got from him.
Okay.
With Marvel.
So you never got the Avengers issues?
No, never.
Just because you just weren't exposed to them, or just
did not know. I was young in the game.
Okay.
I didn't know. A friend of mine told me about these Teen Titans. This is the first one I picked up. Again, I was drawn by this character here. I mean, if you look at it, it's just a powerful thing. It's just like he's blasting this thing.
Yeah.
He's cracking. You could tell that's supposed to be some type of steel or something. He's cracking his faceplate, and he's trying to pull him off. And I'm like, you got all these other people trying to pull this thing off, and he is like really putting screws to this guy.
And he's still he's just you know, I'm gonna give it as good as I.
Yup. And I was like, I love this. And this is the first Titans book I ever bought. And from there, I have bought every Titans book up until a certain point. I forgot where I stopped. But I've gotten Teen Titans, New Teen Titans, The Teen Titans. Just, you know, you pick it, I probably have it. And it was just, I wanted to go back later to George and get something else, but you know, let the truth be told, I'd have paid the man $300-400 just for that. You know, because a lot of people you just don't get actual artwork anymore, and if you get it, you're actually gonna pay for it. And this has been in my collection for what do you say, 23
years?
23 years. Yeah, it's been in my collection for 23 years. Never gonna sell it. It'll probably go to my kids. And you know, I just wanted to give a shout out to my man George. I wish, you know, he could still be with us.
Now, real quick, when you bought this issue, when you opened up the page, were you?
Yeah, I was a little disappointed, just a little bit. I mean, Marv wrote it, but then they've got, you know, the guest penciler Kurt Swan. But I was a little disappointed, but no, you know, no regrets. I still read it.
I mean, it's still, even though not penciled by Kurt, it's still, you know, God, the story and the action and the storytelling was still just, you know.
Oh no, I mean, if Marv was on it, then I knew it was going to be solid, you know, because again, we can go back to what we just said before. On Marv's worst day,
right?
You know. He's still gonna have a better day than someone on their best day, and I just, you know, and again, it was
the first appearance of Trigon.
Yeah,
you know, it's almost a damn shame that this character was. I certainly take was designed by George. That George not able to draw the first, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I just, you know, I really enjoy the Teen Titans. I like not the goofball crap that they have on Cartoon Network.
No, Teen Titans Go? What?
No. The other ones, maybe. But that Teen Titans stuff, no, I don't even think. I think George said in an interview that he hasn't seen it or watched it. Or had no desire to see it or watch it. So, which was fine by me. I'm like, I understand that. But in closing, this is just, you know, one, you know, grail that I have, and I know it's one of a kind. It's to me.
It's personal, very personal.
Very personal. There may be others out there, but there's none like this one. And Godspeed, George. Rest in peace. We miss you, brother.
Indeed. Also, I got just a few. Now, when you got this issue, was aware of it, how long did it take you to then find the previous 4 issues? Was it something that you made it a mission, or you just...
No. I went from 5 on. I just kept going.
And then just later, at some point...
I never came back. I don't have anything before 5.
Still?
Yeah.
You still don't have 1 through 4. You don't have the DC Comics Presents 26.
No. which could possibly be on my list.
Well, it should be, man.
Should possibly
It
be on
should
my
be.
list.
Now, with the Avengers, when did you become aware of that other work he had done for Marvel?
Just recently. Recently. Through you.
Really?
Through you. Recently. Through
Really?
You. Yes.
Man,
Yes.
I am shocked. It's like, oh my
this
God,
was my
dude.
main-
It's like you could have come to me a lot earlier, like 20 years ago, and say, "Hey, man, what else has that man done?" And I could be like, "Well, here you go."
This was my main focus, the Titans. When I got this, it was just like a tunnel vision. And it was just Titans. I never picked anything else up by George other than this. Anything else he did, the Avengers I picked up when they
started back. Yeah,
when they started back, I picked that up.
And of course, Wonder Woman.
His Wonder Woman, and stuff like that. But
and then of course the DC and Marvel Avengers and JLA and
right, I got
stuff like that.
I got on top of all of that. But as far as his early stuff, no,
Wow.
not. This is my first. Well, this is my first work of him. This is my first continuous work
Okay.
of his.
Now you had when you I think you told me when you got that you showed that to some of your buddies, right?
Oh yeah, they about lost their crap on that, and I was like, "Hey man," and they go down to Lanes because we all lived in the same neighborhood.
Right.
They all went down to Lanes, and it was gone by then. It was gone, and because
They ask you to borrow can I borrow your copy?
no, I don't. I've never ever in the 20 plus years I have been collecting, I have never loaned a comic book out to anyone to read. Never. It is an unspoken rule. It does not happen.
Does not happen.
It does not happen. No.
And real quick, going back to now, what did your folks think? Did you write the book report
They were
on
mad.
that?
No, they were mad as
When
hell.
you came, weren't they say no, that's not going to work. You go get a real book.
Okay, yeah. Now you open up a new can of worms.
Because you tell us, you start off with the story and you don't tell us the ending.
Okay, the ending was, and I don't know what the book was, but
Come
I had
on.
to go back.
You know,
I had to go
you think that
back.
would have been etched in your mind?
No, I had to go back and get something
Stupid
else.
Book.
And I don't remember what it was, but the one book I do remember picking up, but it wasn't that though, because this came out. When did this one come out? This came out in.
Came out 79. See, right on the front.
Okay, it came out in 79. Okay, it came out in 79. I don't remember the book I got, but I had to go back and get something else. And again, being a smart ass that I was,
No!
I got something.
You got an issue of Mad Magazine?
Little thin book, something.
Oh.
It was just it was a cat and mouse game with them, and it worked out. I mean, it worked out. My parents were just trying to help me out and just put me through the ringer on some stuff, some life lessons.
Now, your folks in town here, they owned a
Yes.
newspaper, right?
Yes, they still do. Yes,
You tell
they
us a
are
little bit about that?
They are 30 years deep into it, and it was that was a learning experience as well. I learned a lot of stuff, like I had to explain to my mother, which a lot of people don't get. Reading these comic books helped me read. It helped me get through certain things, sounding out words, because a lot of these people's names are hyphened and different syllables and different things like that. Who knows how to, when you first see it, you don't know how to pronounce it, the Shiard or something.
Right.
Those things helped me, and a lot of people fail to realize that. I had a ball, so it was kind of teaching me how to do certain things, how to sound out words, and do things, and actually how to write dialogue.
Okay.
So if you're doing a report on something and you have to switch over, since we're working for a newspaper, you have to quote people.
Okay.
So that helped me get things. I mean, I'm not saying that oh yeah, go out and get your comic books and read them and you'll be some brain surgeon. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it helped me. It helped me get to where I needed to be at certain things. And again, no regrets. No regrets at all. Not a single one.
So, what do your folks think of? You ever talk about the story or talking about they ask you how your comic books, or they
No, they're pretty much in their own thing now. They know I collect, but that's about the gist of it.
That's it.
Because this was the jumping off point. All of this stuff was the jumping off point to this stuff here. All of this stuff here. All of these statues and the stuff behind us, these action figures. This was all the jumping off point, you know. And I don't have to tell you, I've come in here and God knows I have dropped some money in here. And, you know, just to let people know.
I'm certainly thankful for it.
It doesn't
appreciate it.
You know, sometimes it just doesn't matter how much you drop. You know that I've known you for 20, 30 plus years. I can't even put a number on it. And I don't mind spending money in this shop. Not at all. Not at all. Because I know this is probably one of the best shops in the city. And if you don't have it, I'm sure you can find it. Or you can find someone to get it. So, but yeah. It's been a nice run. And I'm not stopping yet. I'm still working. Well, I ain't got to tell you. I'm still working on some other things as well. And I'm loving it. So, got that Silver Surfer in the pipe. And
yeah, that Fantastic Four 72.
Yeah, got that in the pipe, and you know I'm gonna be able to get that off your hands real soon.
Well, maybe one of these days we'll get you the new Teen Titans 1 through 4.
That could happen.
And that DC Comics Presents 26 there.
I mean, this is a personal joke, but yeah, what about that Green Lantern? That's what I'm really waiting for. So.
Oh yeah, well, you know, that's coming. You know, I'll be sure to, you know, let you know when it, you know, sells. I mean,
Thanks. Yeah, that's another story. We won't even go there.
I didn't know about that. I was unaware that I was given orders to look out for that until after it was sold.
But anyway, yeah, I love it, man. It's like I said, no regrets. I love it, and like I said, this is a grail for me, and this is not going anywhere. Never.
Well, great story, and again, yeah, George will be, you know, certainly missed. He was certainly one of the nicest, you know, guys at conventions as far as creators go. Always a smile on his face. Always George. Always happy. Always had time for fans. Always. He was always. I know what. I think George. I remember some of the shows at the Heroes Con for Charlotte or Sheldon Drum that George afterwards it'd always be a party and everything, and George would be there in his Hawaiian shirts and just lots of fun. Just lots of fun. We'll miss the hell out of that guy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, certainly a national treasure that hopefully someday he will get the due respect. You know, maybe he'll be on the back of a coin also. That George, certainly what he did for the industry can never thank him. But if you guys do like these videos, please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notification, like, comment. Please comment. What's your George Perez stories? Give your comments. And again, thank you, Mr. Pope. I love you, man, brother.
Love you. Brother from another mother. Yes, you are.
Thanks for bringing that in and sharing.
No problem.
And everybody have a great rest of your July and July 4th. Take care.